Hey guys, this is the PSD Maniac from the PSD Zone. This will be my first video about the Photoshop tutorial. In this tutorial, we'll be creating an old gold shiny text effect. Okay, first let's open up the background image. I'll be choosing a dark background image for this. Now you have to type using a phone called Pieces of 8. Okay, I'll leave a link to this in the description first. For now, I'll be typing PSD, okay, and choose the color of the font white. Now the first letter, that is P, the uppercase, should be 260p in size, and the lowercase letter S and D should be 360p. Now let's add some background layer style effects. Okay, now first thing we do is add a drop shadow. Okay, we'll choose the blend mode to be normal, and we'll set the color to FC5CC. Okay, now we'll set the opacity to 100 and the angle to -85. Oh yeah, and also and the distance to 3 and size to 7. Or you should also uncheck the use global light. Okay, now let's do the inner shadow. Inner shadow, blend mode normal, color to 514A20. Okay, now click OK, and let's continue. Set the opacity to about 100 and the angle to about 120 should be fine, and the distance to 0, choke to 50, and size to 2. Now for outer glow, we'll blend mode to normal, opacity to 100, noise 0, and we'll set the color to FFFAD and click OK. It should give you a light yellow color. Now technique to precise and spread to 100, and size should be 3. Okay, now contour should be the same as it is, and NDLS 50. Now for inner glow, set the blend mode to multiply and the opacity to about 34, and the noise should be 0, and the color, we'll set the color to about 080100. Okay, and click OK, and now softer center source, and the choke should be 52, and size to 10. Okay, we'll set the range to 100, and we'll move on to bevel and emboss. Okay, the style should be in a bevel, technique to smooth, and we'll set the depth to about 134 and direction to down. Size should be 250. Soften it up a little. No, we don't need to. We'll set the angle to -79 and the altitude to 37. Sorry. Okay, now we'll change the gloss contour. Okay guys, set the contour like in the image that you see right over here. Okay, and once you've done that, just hit OK. Okay, and now let's set the highlight mode, and we'll set it to color dots, and the color will be white. Okay, now for the shadow mode, it should be color burn, and the color will be 171718. Okay, the opacity of the color highlight mode should be 72, and the opacity of the shadow mode should be 27. Now let's move on to the contour. The contour should be this one right over here. Check anti-alias, and the range should be 59. Okay, now for the texture, we'll be using a stripe texture. I'll be providing the links of this texture in the description. You can download it. Now once you've set the texture, set the depth to about +10 and the scale to about 50 should be fine. Now next we'll add a satin, and the blend mode should be color dot, and we'll set the color to white. Okay, now opacity, we'll set it to 32, and the angle we'll set it let be 19, and the distance to be 16, and the size to 24. Okay, let's move on now to color overlay. We'll set the blend mode to multiply and the color to BBA428. Okay, it gives you a golden color. Now opacity, we'll set it to 59. And let's move on to gradient. We'll set the blend mode to color burn and the opacity to 9. Okay, you need to create the gradient that I created. You see in the image, that is right over here. After you created it, just click OK, and you're done with this gradient for now. You can save it if you want. Now set the angle to 10 and scale it up to 150. Okay, now for the pattern overlay. For pattern overlay, we'll set the opacity to 100, and here we'll be using a pattern called a metallic pattern. Okay, you can download it in the internet. I'll be providing a link for this pattern in the description. Okay, once you apply it, this is how the text will look. Now we'll duplicate this text layer, okay, and we'll clear this copy layer style. Okay, now that we're done, we'll add a fresh new set of layer styles to this copied layer. We'll set the fill opacity to 0, and we'll give it a drop shadow. We'll set the blend mode to normal and the color to 0F0902. Okay, we'll set the opacity to about 100, and we'll set the angle to 90, and we'll set the distance to 4, and we'll spread it up to 100, and we'll set the size to 4. Okay, let's move on. Inner shadow. Inner shadow will be let's do linear dodge add. Opacity, now color, we'll set the color to FFFFFBP. It gives you a pale yellow, and we'll set the opacity to about 30, and we'll set the angle to about 39. Opacity should be 39, and we'll set the angle to about 70, and the distance to 3, and we'll set the size to 3. Okay, let's go to inner glow. Inner glow, we'll set the blend mode to color dodge, and we'll set the opacity to 67, and we'll set the color to white color. Now we'll set the choke to 66 and size to 5, and we'll set the range to 100. Okay, now let's move on to bevel and emboss. It should be stroke emboss, and smooth technique, smooth depth to 1000. Give it a pull and direction down, and size 2, and soften. We don't need to soften it. We'll set the angle to -79, and we'll add an altitude of 37. Okay, anterior of it, and we'll set the color to white also. Okay, and we'll set the blend highlight mode to color dodge, and we'll set its opacity to 69. Now for the shadow mode, we'll add a color of 171718. Okay, click OK. Now we'll set the blend mode to we'll set the blend mode to color linear blend. Now we'll set the opacity to 74. Now we'll move on to contour. We'll set the contour to this one right over here, and we'll set we'll anterior it, and we'll set the range to 59. Okay, and for satin, we'll blend mode to color dodge and the color to white, and we'll set the opacity to 36, and the angle, let it be 19, and we'll set the distance to 31, and the size to 38, and set the contour to this one right over here. Okay, now we'll do some stroke. For the stroke, size will be 3, and outside, we'll just type will be gradient. Okay, now here you have to create a gradient which looks like this image right over here. After you created it, click apply the gradient. You can save it if you want. There are many gradients which you need to create. You can save them also for future use. And once you're done, this is how the image will look like. Now we'll be adding some glow lightning effect to the text, so switch off the copy and the original layer. Now we'll be choosing the ellipse tool and creating 4 circles. Okay, now with these settings, create circles, that is ellipse or circles, and rename them from circle 1, circle 2, and circle 3. With these color settings, you can create the circles. Okay guys, now let's get to creating the circles. We'll create the fill to this color right over here for the first circle and create it, and we'll change the color again for the second circle and create a little smaller one. Sorry, just that. Okay, now we'll change color for the third circle again and create a more smaller one. And for the next circle, for the next circle, we'll set the color to white and create even smaller one. Dang, that's stupid. Okay, we'll create it. Now that we have created circles, we'll rename it to circle 1, circle 2, and circle 3, and circle 4. Okay, now we have to horizontally and vertically align them to center. Okay, for that, click. We'll do this right away. Click down to and move them to center. Okay, that's one. Okay, guys. Now we have moved the circles to the center. Now all the circles are like merged here. Now we'll apply Gaussian blur to all the circles. So let's go to blur and Gaussian blur for the first circle. Okay, for the first circle we'll add a radius of 15.8. Let's add it. 15.8. You can see the blurring effect of this first circle in the background. Okay, now for the second circle, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. For the second circle, we'll add a Gaussian blur of 3.8 and click OK. Okay, now for the third one, filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Right, and we'll set it to 1.4 and click OK. Okay, for the third circle, we'll let it remain as it is. Now, let's add a blending mode to the first circle. Set it normal, opacity to normal, and fill to 100%. For the second circle, blend mode, color dodge, opacity and fill to 100. For the third circle, we'll set the blend mode to color dodge as well, and set the opacity to 26, and we'll let the fill be 100. Okay, for the fourth circle, we'll set the blend mode to color dodge again, and let fill and opacity be 100%. Now you can see a cool effect going on. Now we'll group them to all these circles together. For that, press Ctrl Z. Now once you created, set the folder opacity to 60 for the group. Okay, now switch this your text layer back and place this glow to the places you want it to be. Okay, now let's do that. Okay, you can duplicate this group right over here for more glow. You can duplicate it again many times to increase its glow. So let's get to duplicating and placing the So guys, this is how the final image will look like. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video, comment on what you guys think, and subscribe to my channel.